Hello and welcome to the Near Dark Podcast, episode 49. And today we're gonna be raiding some aliens. And in our raiding crew, I have Josef and Zombie. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, as usual, but yeah.
Um, Tired and really annoyed by my fuckhead of a neighbor. Uh, but besides that, I'm pretty good. How are you, again?
I'm doing. I'm really good. I finally have a vacation, so I'm not gonna do anything for several weeks.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
I'm,
that's what I said.
I'm on my last week of vacation tomorrow, and that sucks. Insert evil laugh here.
Yeah. So,
Before we continue on, I don't know if you guys have read or heard about this, but we have lost two horror icons in less than a month.
oh yeah. Yeah, I've
Uh,
heard. I've heard something about that.
hmm.
I
we,
don't
lo-
remember
we,
who.
yeah, we lost movie icon John Saxon yesterday. We're recording this episode 26th of July. He passed away yesterday in pneumonia at the age of 83. Um, I know you have seen in Black Christmas amongst
Yeah.
others. He also appeared in A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare and Cannibal Apocalypse and Nightmare Beach and a ton of other movies. Yeah, he will be missed.
Indeed.
And less than a month ago, Danny Hicks passed away in I think it was stage 4 or 3 cancer. Danny Hicks is probably best known for his roles in Evil Dead 2 and Intruder from 1989, which is actually one of my recently seen. It's one of my favorite slasher movies of all time. It's really flawed, but it's a lot of fun. So,
That's sad.
yeah.
Yeah. So, do we have any recently seen?
I planned to watch movies, but it never came to pass, which actually makes me sad this time.
And no one is surprised.
Yeah, I'm not very surprised.
Definitely not.
Have you seen anything, Ogge?
Um, Actually, no. I've
Huh.
been pretty busy this last week, so I haven't had much time to watch movies, sadly.
Oh, okay.
That is a
Well,
surprise.
well, this will be a pretty quick one. And I've been rewatching a lot of things. Amongst them are Intruder, like I said. But I'm also rewatching the Pet Cemetery remake from last year. I think it still holds up, and I think it's a really good remake. But we talked about that one on an earlier episode when we had watched it at the cinema. So,
Yeah.
other things I've been rewatching is the French ultra-violent home invasion-esque movie Inside from 2006 or 7, I think. You've seen that one, right, Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
What are your thoughts about it? Real quick.
I think it's pretty good. I liked it. Yeah.
It's really dark and it's really it's not a fun movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty dark one.
Yeah. Do you know what the movie is about, Sonny?
No clue.
Um, it's about this uh, pregnant woman who gets an uninvited guest on Christmas Eve who wants her unborn child. And yeah, violence ensues.
The movie is very French.
Mm-hmm.
Like French movies are brutal.
Yeah, they don't spare the gore.
They don't fuck around.
Mm-hmm. No, but I I like that movie, even though it's not a fun movie whatsoever. And then I did a rewatch of I think it's from 2014 slasher movie, Girl House, which is about a porn site called Girl House. And when some of the girls at this porn site mocks one of the users, he turns, he goes batshit crazy and he invades the house they are staying in and start to kill them off one by one. I don't know if we talked about it on an earlier episode, but it's a really good slasher movie. Semi-ish modern. I guess none of you have seen it.
No, I haven't.
No, I don't think we have mentioned it before either.
We haven't?
Not that I remember.
Hmm. Well, it's a movie we will cover at some point. I'm pretty sure about that. And then I've been watching some other stuff that, you know, movies. They are movies we've talked about a couple of times before, and we also done an episode on one of them, which is Terror Train. So I won't go into any of these movies, but I also finished up season 2 of American Horror Story.
Nice.
Nice.
And I plowed through the third season, Coven, as well. I think Asylum, at least out of the 3 first seasons, Asylum is the best one. Mostly because it got this main story, and then you got these smaller plots that's going on around this main story. So at times it felt a bit like I was watching Tales from the Crypt, but with a main story that these smaller plots branched out of, which I really enjoyed. And the third season, I didn't mind that one. I thought I would. I thought it would be a slog to get through, but I really enjoyed that season because of the characters. The whole plot about witches and voodoo and that kind of stuff didn't interest me whatsoever, but the characters made it work, because basically almost everyone in that season is uber bitches, which I found really funny to watch. And basically everyone is out to stab one another in the back, uh, which was pretty entertaining. Yeah, I think that's everything. And like I said, I've been watching more stuff, but it's stuff we've talked about before, and we also made episodes on them. So
Yeah.
there's really no point in talking about them. One more thing. I actually forgot to mention this on the last episode, and that was I actually appeared on a Swedish movie podcast called Film Fett Solo, which is made by a guy whose name is Robin. And we talked about the Punisher franchise, and we talked specifically about the 2004 reboot of the Punisher, and yeah. So if you're Swedish, you can go and look that up. I think he's up on SoundCloud somewhere else. I think he's up on iTunes as well, perhaps. But Film Fett Solo is the name of the podcast, and we've talked about me appearing again on that podcast, and we're gonna talk about 3 horror movies with a specific theme to them. I won't go into what, but we got some plans for it.
Nice.
Nice. So, are we ready to roll the trailer?
I don't have anything else to talk about. So,
Yeah.
Okay then. So here is the trailer for Alien Raiders.
Attention Hastings shoppers, the store is now closed. Thank you.
Whoa! Hastings Market, December 20th.
On your knees. On your knees. Heads down. Do not move until I tell you to.
They had no warning.
The front and back doors have been chained. Do not try to be a hero.
We got a hostage situation for you here.
They had no way out.
Check the other bodies. See which ones are being infected.
Specimen appears to be approximately 8 years gestation.
They had no idea what they were in for.
I'm in charge of the negotiations. Why don't you start by telling me what's going on in there?
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Be careful. You know we're here.
You gotta keep them from taking over.
Aliens.
Yes.
You think it's a king?
It's the most powerful one I've seen yet.
You want to survive this? You're gonna have to trust us. We killed all the other ones, but this is the king. We get it, and it's over.
All right, go, go!
Alien Raiders. Uncut, only on DVD.
Just as the local grocery store is about to close, a group of 6 armed, masked people enter the building. Though the hostage takers at first appear to be robbers or terrorists, they reveal themselves to be a group of rogue scientists that have discovered and tracked an alien infestation to this store on this night. So, what about you? What did you think of the movie, Zombie?
I didn't mind it. I think it's a very good movie with a good plot and such, but at times the movie felt a bit too actiony. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, it did fit the plot and whatnot, and I didn't mind the characters either. But at the same time, as I like it as a movie, I don't really know how I like it as a horror movie, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was very decent, and you can't really find anything very or substantially wrong with it. So I was very unsure what rating to give it because I did like it, but at the same time, I didn't really feel the horror element in it other than the very gory bits and bloody bits that there was in it. But other than that, it didn't really feel like a horror movie to me. So for now, I will give it a 6 out of 10.
That's not too shabby.
No.
Oh, what about you, Joseph?
Well, apparently I saw this back in 2009. I went back and read my review of it from 2009 after I had rewatched the movie. And since I hadn't seen it for 11 years, I didn't remember anything about it. Neither the plot nor what I thought about it. I think the production values of the movie is surprisingly good. Big and direct-to-video movie and all, you know. The acting is good. The effects looks really good, and even though the movie doesn't really have a original storyline, since it borrows a lot from other movies in the same genre,
Yeah.
it executes its formula really well, I'd say. If I had to complain about anything in the movie, it would probably be that it's very, very obvious who's gonna be infected and how the movie will end. They basically use a big neon light over the character that will, you know, at the end turn out to be affected.
It is pretty obvious.
Yeah, they basically could have just put a big rubber finger over her head and, you know.
Yeah.
That might be a big issue for some people with the movie, but I personally don't care about it. I had a good time watching it, and the ending is just the kind of ending I love, you know, that type of abrupt twist ending. Oh yeah, by the way, when I come to think of it, if the Thing and the Mist would have a love child, it would most likely be Alien Raiders. Do you guys agree?
Definitely. Yeah.
I have yet to see The Mist, but I can see where you're going with it. I really want to watch it, though.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a decent movie, but you should check it out. Absolutely. But you have seen both of those movies, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's.
Yeah,
that's a good way of describing this movie.
Yeah, and that's what I mean about it borrowing a lot from other movies in the same genre. It doesn't really have a original bone in its body, but it executes the formula really well, being a direct-to-video production.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Alien Raiders, and I think it's a good direct-to-video flick that is sort of an hidden gem. I mean, you can do a hell of a lot worse than this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So my rating will be 7.5, perhaps 8 out of 10.
Nice. Not bad.
What are your thoughts about it, Okay? I think you were the one who recommended this one to me back in 2009 because in my review I mentioned someone that I called O.
Yeah, I did. I remember I recommended it to you. And
Okay, yeah, all right.
I have no idea how I found it, but it's definitely a hidden gem.
Mm.
It's a very genre bending movie, and I like that
Yeah.
because it's not like true to any genre. It starts out as more of like a
Siege movie.
yeah, yeah. It starts out like a siege movie, and then it turns into more of a horror movie, which is a sci-fi horror kind of. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
yeah, it has a good pacing. Uh, the acting is it's good, but it's not like really good. Like
It's not groundbreaking.
no, it gets the job done,
Yeah.
but the pacing and the story of this movie is great, and I would have loved to see a prequel to it.
Yeah, that explains everything that happens before.
Yeah,
Mm.
That would
I
be a good concept, yeah.
yeah, I wish we would have gotten that, but sadly we didn't.
Hmm.
My rating for this movie would be an 8. It's it's definitely a hidden gem, and I think a lot of people would enjoy it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
For some reason, I always liked the concept of putting a horror plot into a store for some reason.
yeah,
I didn't like the miss the first time I saw it, but I rewatched it 2 times, I think. But so I enjoy it more now than I did the first time.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy this one as well. And I love Intruder, which is also set in a store.
yeah.
But what do you guys think about the store setting? Is it a good one or?
I think it's a good setting.
Yeah. It does give a way to have them walk around in kind of like a very bad maze. It's just you never
Yeah,
know where they
the
are, many
aisles.
places to hide.
Yeah, the aisles.
Yeah, definitely. And depending on, it can be very big and a just a store in general doesn't really have a space limit in such situations that you need to think about in relativity to the characters in case of like having a character that is portrayed as very poor living in a mansion. It doesn't make sense unless you need to explain it, but in a store you don't need to explain any of that. And yeah, I really like the store setting.
I also like the blend of genres a lot. It helps a lot with the pacing, and it keeps the movie very interesting.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of their way of blending the genre?
Mm, um, uh, what do I think about that? I like it. I like siege movies, and I like monster movies. So it's a pretty good mashup, if you want to call it that. The only thing that the I think that they could have shortened it up with like 3 or 4 minutes or something to beef up the tempo a little bit more. Because there's a short interval, like in the middle of the movie, before the shit starts to hit the fan, so to speak. when it is a bit slow. But besides that, I think it's a good mashup of genres.
Yeah.
But it would have been, I think, perhaps if these scientists' characters, could have kept it a secret a little bit longer, it would have been perhaps a bit more interesting throughout the movie. You don't know why these guys are doing this.
Yeah.
And it would have kept kept it more interesting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if the movie started off as a siege movie and then you just you didn't know why they were doing it, and it just kept going like in an hour or something into the movie, and then you just get thrown into your face that, okay, this is an alien movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, most of the movie, you know just about as much as the character does, the non-scientist ones, which it does in the movie a favor in the fact that it gives you questions and it keeps you
Interested
wanting,
in the plot.
yeah, and wanting to see where the answers come to or how you get the answers.
Mm.
And it would be more satisfying to have them like answered more later in the movie than slowly over the time of the movie, I would say.
Yeah.
To give the horror aspect a bit more chance to shine, I would say. Because sometimes the unknown can be scarier than knowing that there is an infected alien thing out there.
Mm. Mm. And that's one of the things I meant with that it's very obvious who's gonna be infected. The woman that starts to cough.
Yeah.
The first scene when she coughed, I was like, okay, she's infected.
Same.
And like 4 minutes later, it's revealed that she was indeed that. So, and the end is also very obvious, really.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't mind it. I don't mind it, but there are people that are more nitpicky about things like that,
Yeah. It kind of felt obvious when they had to like escape and they never actually tested her whatsoever. It felt, oh, she's gonna be the thing because they never test her and then they never mentioned testing her ever after that point.
Yeah, and she also changed her attitude to the guy.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the movie, she basically tells him to fuck off, and then all of a sudden she tells him that she is in love with him, basically.
Yeah, when she noticed that he's willing to get his finger cut off in her stead, she knows, or it knows, how far she can take it.
Yeah. What do you think about the ending and these things, or?
It was pretty obvious, but yeah, they foreshadow it a bit too much. It was that's kind of the flaw of the movie, that they weren't able to surprise anyone with it.
Yeah.
They should have cut that scene when she tells him that blah blah blah, she's she's in quote unquote love with him.
Yeah. They should probably have skipped the final twist, I think.
No, the twist, it's nothing wrong with the twist itself. It's just that they foreshadow it.
Yeah.
If they hadn't done that and just that twist came out of absolutely nowhere, that would have been more satisfying, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you rewatch the movie, you look closer what happens to her and how everyone is, you know, treating her.
Yeah. They could also have hidden the fact that they were looking for a king for a bit longer than they did, to more surprise the more than just surprise the characters or us also, that she was the king and such. But you could have just had like, oh, she's infected, and then had the twist also that she's not only infected, she's super infected.
Oh yeah, you mean that like twist at the end, and then they show 5 seconds more, and you get to know that it was the king inside
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I
Rather
feel
than
like my problem with this movie is that it feels like the second movie in a trilogy or something.
yeah,
Like when you're watching it, it feels like you're just following like the scientist, but you don't know how they got there, or like I want to see what happened before that, how they found the infestation and how they came up with the
Yeah.
ways of tracking it. It's like you're watching the sequel of an awesome alien movie.
Feels a bit like you get thrown into the center of the plot, basically.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie. But I don't think that it's nothing wrong doing a movie like that. But like you said, it would have been nice to see a prequel or perhaps even a sequel. But I honestly don't think we will ever get that, unfortunately.
Oh no, it's way too late for that. We're never gonna get.
Well, there are movies that have been made in the 70s and they get a sequel now. For example, The Car that came out in 1977, I think, got a sequel last year.
Oh, yeah.
So, the chances aren't totally gone, but it's a direct to video movie, so the chances are a bit low, I think.
Yeah.
I am back.
Woohoo!
Oh.
Yeah, internet just decided to quit on me, not telling me at all.
Again.
Yeah. So I just kept talking and no one was answering, and I was like, well, but it's all fine now.
What were you saying when you got cut off?
I was talking about how different the movie would be if you had the prequel ending with coming to this place. Kind of around there. I got cut off.
Yeah, like I said to Ogge, it would have. It feels like you get thrown straight into the action at the beginning of the movie, and you're like watching the middle portion of a series of movie or something.
Yeah, that part I heard, and I think I may have been cut off around there.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think they should have cut out was the fact that the cop turned out to be infected. You know, the big guy that gets shot. They should have just left that out, because when that older guy goes to get the gun from the cop, you know.
Yeah.
It's so very, very obvious that he's gonna get killed.
Yeah. It would be more surprising if he just got in there. And then you would rather believe that one of the scientists would find him rather than just him getting killed by the cop. And that would surprise you.
it would have made the movie a bit more suspenseful.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, it sounds like we hate this movie.
Yeah.
You
like
just
yeah,
because you can find faults in something you love doesn't mean you don't love it.
it has its fair share of flaws, but it's very entertaining, and
Yeah,
it's a good ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely. It
It's a
didn't feel
nice,
like a drag.
it's a nice popcorn thrill of a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it doesn't feel like you have to drag yourself through watching the movie. It just goes through it at a very good pace. So you don't think about, like, how long of the movie is left. Oh.
Thank God.
Yeah. Because there are definitely such movies around. Got any favorite characters?
Kane.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's an asshole, but he and Seth,
Yeah.
the stepdad cop.
Mm. He's an asshole, but he is a good guy and he just wants to get the job done.
yeah,
What are
Yeah.
your thoughts, Ogge?
yeah. I like Kane. I also like the alien police for some reason. Like when
The big guy.
yeah,
Okay.
like when like when I tried to, I think the Asian guy tried to control him. Like you knew right away that the Asian guy was screwed.
Yeah, he went to Rambo on his ass.
Yeah, definitely. So I would go with Kane and the big guy.
Zombie. What are your thoughts about that?
Like, before he dies, I really liked him. And how he just was calm yet very, very dangerous. So yeah, I like him too.
One thing that made me laugh was when he gets shot with the shotgun. Kane shoots him with shotgun. He
Yeah,
flies like a fucking ragdoll all over the store.
I think
Yeah,
I think that was one of the worst effects they had. Not that they had any extremely bad effects, but that was the most. Like,
Yeah,
just CGI flew away.
yeah, it didn't look natural whatsoever.
Not for a second.
But yeah, that made me laugh. Most of the other effects looked really good.
Yeah.
Some of the camera work, when you get to see the mutated characters, was a bit irritating. When the camera was all shaky and everything went in slow motion.
Yeah.
Um,
Why do they do that with the
I-
shady camera? I don't like it.
I can understand why they did that, because of budgetary reasons.
Yeah.
So you can't tell that it's just makeup.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel
what do you think about it, Ogge?
it's pretty simple, and they tried to hide it as much as they could. I think they didn't have the budget to do like proper effects, but I think they did a pretty good job with what they had. So
Yeah.
I like the way they used it, and
Mm.
that it's not CGI or anything. It's real effects.
I like the creature that he pulls out of the chest of the infected cop at the end.
Yeah, I like that.
That looked really good.
Yeah, I kind of like the infected cop too. Yeah, it felt pretty retro in a way.
Yeah, but that's what I mean by if the Thing and the Mist would have a love child.
Yeah. So, do we have anything more we want to cover, or should we move on to some facts? or background?
The only thing I think I like is worth mentioning is how you can see a bit how they are scientists. It shines a bit through when they like start asking questions before they cut the fingers off. Just it reminds you very much of like an actual doctor's visit when you were a kid and you had to do shots and whatnot, and the doctor tried to distract you with asking like questions or make you do count things to distract you from what was actually going to happen. And I really like that part, which
Yeah.
which really
Yeah.
shows that they were not really extremely bad people.
No, they weren't bad people. They just
No.
did what they had to do to
Yeah.
stop it, to stop full-scale infection.
Yeah. But before you know that fact, you can think of them as like bad people because you're not entirely sure what they do.
Yeah.
But I think that is one of the key like points to show that they were actually not trying to do this because they were assholes, but because they needed to, rather.
Yeah. And who the hell would believe them?
Yeah. Like, they could have done the asshole move and just cut it off and not care about it, but they tried to actually distract the person in question.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking about that too when I was watching the movie.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any specific scenes that I want to mention.
I don't think I have anything else to say really. It's a good direct-to-video movie. And
Yeah.
if someone hasn't seen it, go and watch it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It is flawed, but it's a good popcorn thrill ride of a movie.
No movie is perfect, so.
Well,
We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
No. Otherwise, we will be here until next week.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a recommendable movie.
Yeah. Okay, do you guys want to go quick into background, perhaps? Or...
I see why not.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I was searching around a little bit, but I couldn't actually come up with that much background on this movie, surprisingly. But I got a couple of smaller things here. The working titles for the film were Inhuman and The Supermarket, and actually I would prefer the title Inhuman, I think. What do you guys say?
It does hide the fact that it involves aliens for the movie itself, so that you only realize there are aliens in it when they say it, rather than know it from the get-go.
Yeah, it would be more of a twist with the aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have done it sort of in the same vein as From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
That the movie starts out as one movie and then all of a sudden they just flip the table and it turns into something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with a title like Inhuman or Supermarket, they could have done that. So, well, it was a missed opportunity. Anyway, the movie was released by Warner Home Video, which had changed the name to Warner Bros. Home Entertainment and Raw Feed, which was a label of Warner Premiere, the direct-to-DVD division of Warner Home Video, that focused on releasing horror movies. Both actors Rockmond Dunbar, who played Kane, and Matthew St. Patrick, who played Seth, went on to appear in the Sons of Anarchy TV series. And Rockmond Dunbar has a pretty big role in, I think it's 3 seasons of that series. And St. Patrick appeared in the last season, I think. I didn't recognize them while I was watching the movie, but when I checked them up, I was like, okay. And actress Courtney Ford, who played, what was her name? Spelling? The scientist chick.
Knightley on something or other.
I can't remember. You know which character I mean, at least.
Yeah.
She went on to appear in, amongst others, True Blood for, I think it was 2 or 3 seasons, and she also appeared in Dexter. If I remember correctly, she's the character who gets involved with Quinn, and she turns out to be the daughter of one of the murderers that Dexter is trying to catch in one of the seasons. And the last thing I picked up, because like I said, there wasn't much background to dig up, was that this was director Ben Rock's first feature film. He had done a couple of short movies before this one. And he also worked as production designer on 1999's The Blair Witch Project.
Hmm.
And that is everything I got.
Nice.
I guess we should reveal the next victim.
The next victim?
Pick.
Yeah, well, Angel isn't here, but she told me her next pick. I don't know if she will change her mind or if she has changed her mind. But she told me that she was gonna pick Tokyo Gore Police as her next pick.
Oh, sounds interesting.
I've seen it once and can't remember much about it, but it's a really over-the-top splatter movie.
Yeah. I think I know of it.
It's one of the more well-known splatter movies from Japan.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the same year as Alien Raiders 2.
Come again?
It's from the same year as Alien Raiders.
Oh, it's from 2008.
Yeah.
Okay, should we wrap this up or?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Okay, so we are playing out with Susie from, or rather off Susie, Sue and the Banshees fame, and the track title is Into a Swan.
So, that was it for this episode. I see you all next time. Take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, good people. Thanks for listening to this episode, and I hope that I'll hear from you in the next.
What in the world is happening? What in the world could this be? I'm on the verge of an awakening, a new kind of strength